Good evening, Southeast Texas. Today marks a very somber anniversary for our country. 82 years ago, hundreds of Japanese bombers launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, and thousands of Americans were killed that day. 21 ships of the Pacific Fleet were either sunk or damaged. Among them was the USS Arizona, which we remember 1,100 crewmen died in. More than 2,400 Americans were killed in the attack, and some 1,100 more were injured. The attack forced the U.S. into World War II, and today remembrance ceremonies were held at the National Pearl Harbor Memorial in Hawaii to honor those who died. Now tonight, a Jasper man is sharing his connection to the day that will live in infamy. 100-year-old Billy Joel Walker was just 17 when he enlisted in the Navy. He served on the USS Platte, which was an oil tanker. The vessel would go back and forth between Pearl Harbor and other bases along the West Coast. 12 News reporter Kyle Orr got the chance to speak with his hometown hero tonight. And Kyle, it's been 82 years, but Walker still remembers Pearl Harbor vividly.
Brenda, as part of the greatest generation, Billy Joe Walker offered a unique perspective into a time that many of us could only experience through textbooks and documentaries. Enlisting in the Navy as a gunner's mate when he was just 17 years old, Walker knew serving in the military was just what a young man like himself needed. He was at Pearl Harbor just a week before the attack, but ended up in San Diego the day of the attack. Walker tells me that as soon as him and his shipmates got news of the Japanese surprise attack, they immediately loaded up and set sail for Hawaii to transfer supplies and fuel and to ready themselves for war.
Well, you know, I was young then, and I wanted to go get them. And we pulled in after the attack. The battleships laying alongside the docks, you know, on the side. And one or two of them just sunk down straight.
After assisting his comrades at Pearl Harbor, Walker and the USS Platte then set sail and took part in refueling task forces during the Battle of the Coral Sea. The tanker would then join the Enterprise task force at the Battle of Midway, where Walker was injured as the tanker was avoiding torpedoes from Japanese submarines. And after a stay in the hospital, Walker returned to the fleet and served through the end of the war in 1945. Coming up at 6, we'll go more in depth about Billy Joe Walker's experience at the Battle of Pearl Harbor and the rest of the war in the Pacific. Live in studio, Kyle Orr, 12 News.
What a testimony from him. Thanks so much.